I can feel it down in my plums. When I hear a sound, a rap at the door, my young son Gabriel walks in.
And welcome back to Let the Boys Watch, an entertainment podcast brought to you by Going Grave Productions. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Robbie, and for the next 7 weeks, no movies. We will be talking about Game of Thrones prequel, House of the Dragon. And today, we'll be talking about Season 2, Episode 2, Rhaenyra the Cruel. House of the Dragon stars Matt Smith, Emma Darcy, Olivia Cooke, Rhys Ifans, Tom Glynn-Carney, Ewan Mitchell, Eve Best, Steve Toussaint, Fabien Frankel, and my man, Matthew Needham. Alongside me is a man of honor and integrity, the Cousin Benny. How are we feeling?
We're doing good. I just want to make sure we're good on talking about the episode. There's no spoilers we need to watch out for with you, Robbie.
I watched the episode. Thank you.
Okay, we're good. All right.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And alongside the cousin I is a snake, a man of deceit. Our good friend, well, Benny's good friend and co-host, Ryan. How we doing?
Oh man, I'm good. More spoilers over here than a car lot, I guess.
Please.
Yeah. So I've spoiled now two shows for Robbie. Working on, I don't know, 3 or 4. We'll see how it goes.
Ryan's gonna binge watch all of The Bear tonight.
Yeah.
And just
I'll go to
spoil
sleep.
it.
Yes,
I watched 4 shows as it is. And 2 of them are spoiled, so whatever. 50-50.
Oh man. So yeah, like Robbie said, this is Let the Boys Watch. We are going to be talking about House of the Dragon, Season 2, Episode 2, Rhaenyra the Cruel. Speaking of spoilers, we are not going to get into any book spoilers. So if you are not a book reader, please continue listening. We're not going to, spoil anything for the future. So don't worry about that. Even though there's a lot out there, be careful on the internet. And we're also going to be doing a couple other things. So keep on the lookout for stuff from us about the boys, about the bear, and who knows what else, because what else are we doing? Might as well just talk about everything we're watching. Please get involved in the conversation. Send us an email, ltbwpodcast@gmail.com. It's in the show notes. Follow us on Instagram. We put, memes and videos and all the other nonsense. When we're watching movies, we have polls every Friday for you to pick what movie we should watch. And Benny, tell them where else they can get involved.
Yeah, please follow us on YouTube at Let the Boys Watch. It's free for you to do. And this week, we're going to give you a little YouTube exclusive. We're going to be talking about the boys in a mini episode. So follow us on YouTube so you don't miss that. If you're watching the boys, come join us there. And hopefully you'll be dipping our toe into the bear coming up soon. So if you're watching those shows, follow us on YouTube so you don't miss out on those episodes.
Nice. So in an effort to make this slightly different from every other House of the Dragon podcast and recap show and whatever else, we're just going to keep trying new stuff till something sticks, I think. So we're going to start off with a little recap. We'll do some scores, do 7 questions for the 7 kingdoms, and then who sat on our Iron Throne? And that's it. Just, we love talking, but hopefully we'll keep it concise this week. We'll see what happens. So in an hour and a half, you can tell me I told you so. So obviously, if you're listening to this, you probably watched the show, but a couple of points to make on this as far as, what happened this episode, because I think it was, while when I first watched it, I was kind of like, all right, table setter episode. But second watch, I liked it a little more. We'll talk about that later. So there was definitely a couple things that happened. Opens up with craziness with the murder of Jaehaerys. They're hurting all the staff. Aegon the Second's going bananas. This is what I spoiled for Robbie. He's breaking the Lego set. Robbie, what'd you think when that happened? It's like Ryan messed me up.
Devastated. Well, I didn't know what was going on. When I finally saw it, I understood, but I said, "Oh my God!" I said, "I can't believe Ryan screwed me over again."
Again, nonstop.
Well, you know what they say? What is it? Shame
Oh,
on you.
fool me once, shame
Fool
on,
me once.
yeah, shame
Yeah.
on you.
Fool,
Fool me twice, shame on me. So
You can't
no,
get
fool me
fooled
twice. You
again.
can't. Yeah, exactly. The saying here in Texas that says, "Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, you can't get fooled again." Uh,
um,
to go back to that.
I know, such a simpler time.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Um, then I mean, just quickly, they're talking in the small council. Otto's basically like, we're gonna use this, and great idea, but still kind of ghoulish. I mean, it is your grandson. You're parading him around the streets, but in theory, not the worst idea. Um, Helena and Allison have to be in that procession. Not great. They hit a pothole, which anyone that's ever hit a pothole knows how bad that is.
All these
But we're not.
taxes.
Yeah. Oh, come on.
Please.
The crown needs to fill those potholes with all the taxes the people are paying. It's bullshit. Um. So they find blood. He gets maced out by the king. Rhaenyra finds out that Daemon set this whole thing up, and I mean, David's just sitting there smirking. We'll talk about that more later, but obviously this did not go well. Daemon and her are not in a good spot right now. But it is what it is. We'll see what happens. Cole is a piece of shit, Criston Cole. He's projecting all over the place, going after Sir Eric, and sends him off to kill Rhaenyra. There was a couple of scenes in here, and we'll talk about this later, about like people you're like, who the hell are these people? There was a scene with the small folk. There was a scene with Adam and Alan. And I think, again, table setting purely episode. Um, Adam sees the dragon flying, just like things you're just kind of like, all right, what the heck is going on? Like, it's like boring, but at the same time, you're like, all right, where are they going with this? Because they're not
They're clearly setting something up.
right. Something's up. They hang all the rat catchers. Otto flips out and goes after Aegon. They're yelling at each other. He brought his thesaurus in his back pocket. He's calling them all the synonyms in the book. And then Aegon gives the hand pin to Cole, which is see how that goes. Rhaenyra releases Massaria. Two brothers fight. Who wins? Who knows? And then the high towers don't know how to comfort each other. But Allison knows how to comfort Criston Cole, and that's how the episode ends. So extremely quick. I have way more notes than I just said, but you
Hey,
probably watched the episode.
Yeah, we got 50 minutes to get all those notes in.
Exactly. So
Notes.
I'd love to hear from you guys. What'd you think of this episode? And would you score this episode? Robbie, you want to go first? Benny, you
Yeah,
want to
start
go
us off,
first?
Rob.
I thought, like you said, Ryan, I thought I get, watching, I'm like, all right, like you said, a nice little table setter episode. Pacing was whatever. I thought it was a decent episode, similar to some of the stuff I didn't really enjoy in season one. But I get it. I get where it's going. You got to set the table. Put the knives and forks out, put the soup spoon out. You got to do all those things nice. But again, I'm still continued to not to be amazed by some of these performances. I think this is some great quality acting. I thought Rhys Ifans was fantastic in this episode. I thought Aegon was fantastic. Rhaenyra doesn't have to say much. I think she wears it all on her face, and I think that's great, and I love it. Allison, so over, completely over and done with her. Crispy, if I could steal Benny's saying from last week, if I could use it for a second, I can't stand him. I cannot stand him. I cannot wait till he gets his. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I hope it does. But I thought this was a pretty decent episode. Like you said, a little filler. Wasn't the best, wasn't as good as last week for me, and I scored that as 7.7. But rather slow pacing for me. But I get where it needs to go. I thought the fight between the brothers was awesome. We can probably get into that later. I'm not going to go into a deep dive about how I feel about Cole and what he did. It was stupid. He's an asshole. Can't stand him. But yeah, I'll give it a 7.3 this week. Not as good as the first one. I gave the first one a 7.7. Second episode was a little slower pace, but I feel like that's your Game of Thrones type deal. That's always going to happen every once in a while, but I think it's getting set up. I like how Rhaenyra kind of shunned Daemon. We'll see where that goes, but as of right now, I'm definitely on her side for that. I like her sympathy and stuff like that, but we'll see what happens with her character as well. She is a Targaryen after all, so you never know with them. But yeah, 7.3 from I thought it was a good episode. Nothing great, just the usual Game of Thrones type filler episode.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of the things you said. I mean, as far as a table setter episode goes, though, there was so much to love about this episode. Like you mentioned, the performances were incredible. I love the fight scene at the end between Eric and Eric. Like that was just a cool way to end that whole story. I'm sure we'll talk about it a little later, but just how confusing it was. Awesome. Rhaenyra killed it. Otto Hightower, just incredible. Even Aegon in this episode, incredible. And I feel like I'm just going to say all the same things Robbie said, except maybe I like this a little bit more. We're starting to get the ball moving on the plot, and it just feels like crazy stuff is coming. And that's what I liked about this episode. I'm starting to get the feeling of being not necessarily on the edge of my seat, but tense watching it, just waiting to see. You know, my main point from last week was that it just seems like this is going to keep escalating to someone trying to get revenge, and they just take it a little too far to where this is never going to end. And I think that's where we're heading. Um, I enjoyed it. I think I'm going to go 8.2 on this one, a little bit higher than last week for me, just because I think a lot of those performances in this episode really carried the day, and a great fight scene, like probably one of the more memorable Game of Thrones fight scenes. I'm not necessarily going to put it in top 3, top 5 category, but I loved how the whole fight went down, and just the chaos of that scene. So even though it was a table setter episode for me, there was a lot to love here.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you guys, and like I said before, the right after we finished watching, I kind of turned to my wife and I was like, all right, a little boring, but I liked it. Um, and then like the next day, I was thinking about it and then watched it again in anticipation for this. And I think I really liked this episode, just slightly less than last week, but there was, like you guys said, the acting was fantastic in this episode by Otto, by Alicent, by Rhaenyra, by Daemon, by like everybody. Everyone is fantastic. It's so, we've said it before. It's crazy how it's so rare. Like, yeah, we hate Criston Cole's guts, but because he's doing a great performance, I don't even know if there is one. Can you guys think of one where it was like, wow, that actor fucking sucks?
No, it's never like that in Game of Thrones. And if for the most part, HBO Max, whatever show you want to call them, they always do such a good job.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so rare that it's like someone puts in a bad performance. But I also want to shout out the music in this episode, especially in the beginning. Fantastic as always. And yeah, there's just, again, it was a table setter episode, but it was very enjoyable. I'm very excited to see where things are going with certain people. So yeah, again, like just slightly less than last week, so I'm gonna go 8.3. But I really enjoyed this episode, and I'm happy to see where this is going.
I'm kind of bummed that it's only going to be 8 episodes now. Like
Yeah.
we're a quarter of the way through, and maybe not a lot has happened, but you know, we got only a little bit of room to play with these next 6 weeks. But I guess the benefit of it being a Max show is that the next episode could be an hour and 15 minutes, and we could get long episodes. So I think that's the benefit of maybe being a Max show, even though it's only going to be 8 episodes.
I'm really tired of these shows now with this 8-episode stuff. And then like waiting 2 years for the next one.
I know.
It was usually 13, no, 10, 8. It's gonna be 4
Well,
next time.
well, it's
One
going to be
episode.
4. Yeah, it's going to be 4. It's going to be half and half, A and B.
Oh, boy.
I hate that almost the most when they split it up. Ugh.
Yeah.
Whatever. So, I figured again, instead of going scene by scene and being like, all right, what'd you guys think of this one? Yeah, I agree, or whatever. Not that I don't have fun doing that, and maybe the audience likes it. I'm not sure. But I think I want to be a little more surgical, a little more precise, and just have a couple questions based on the episode. We don't need to get into all the small details of everything, but 7 questions for the 7 kingdoms, for the faith of the 7, whatever. These are kind of in chronological order of the episode. I don't know. Basically, just kind of go with that. And of course, if you guys have anything connected to this, not connected to this, whatever, it's, it doesn't have to be solely these 7 things if you wanted to talk about something. But I guess first we'll start with the funeral procession and Jaehaerys and that whole thing. Basically, do you think it was a good move to do this? And then B, what'd you think about it? Like, anyone want to start with that, or should I get the ball rolling?
I'll start.
All right, go ahead.
I think it is established in this world, in this lore, that you take every opportunity and you don't let it go past without gaining something from it. The people that show weakness or, you know, don't seize opportunities get screwed over in the end. So in this world, yeah, this is what you got to do, especially when you're trying to establish that your claim to the throne is the true one. Then yeah, you need to do everything you can. If people have sympathy for Rhaenyra, you have to find a way to undermine that. And this is, as far as a hand goes, I think Otto has really shown he gets it. And we may not agree with all the decisions that he makes, but he seems to be right more often than not with the decision that he makes. More cutthroat in the previous seasons with burning down houses and stuff like that, but I think that this was the right move. And as far as the scene goes, I thought it was giving me, once they started chanting Rhaenyra the Cruel and this is what she did, it was giving me uh, shame vibes. So, I like the kind of allusion to that. I thought maybe there was going to be a little bit more craziness to that, with, maybe the small folk reaching in and grabbing at people, but Helena did such a great job of just showing the anxiety and the the overwhelming nature of the whole thing. Interesting note to start on. I thought they maybe left a little bit on the table though for the actual scene itself.
Yeah, Robbie, what did you think about this? Good move. Whatever you want to add to it.
Well, I enjoyed the scene. I thought it was very well done. Love the way it was shot. I do love the way Helena showed her basically anxiety attack and like how that was happening. I really enjoyed that. I think again, like I just think it's such a skill to act without saying a lot, and I think she's one of the best at doing it in this show. I think her and Rhaenyra are the top 2 in that aspect of facial expressions or just acting without speaking. But I agree with Benny. It's just propaganda, really, right? If you think about it,
Yeah.
It's like basically what history is. Drum up support for a war, it's some propaganda going. Drum up support for this person, some propaganda. Shed some darkness on somebody. So that's what I thought. I thought it was a great idea. Yeah. I mean, did he care? Like he said he did, that it was his grandson? Probably. But I think he cared more of drumming up the support and getting everybody behind Alicent and the High Towers uh, instead of the Targaryens and Rhaenyra. So yeah, I think it was a smart move. Um, I love Otto. I think Otto's a great hand, and I think he knows what he's doing. He definitely knows how to play the game. But I thought it was what needed to be done. You have to do that in order, like Benny said, to get everybody on your side. Even if there's any doubters, you have to silence that doubt and get everybody on your side and make sure that you have all the backing for your next move. So it was a smart move. It's just what's done in real life too, all the way back with your Boston Tea parties and all that crap like that. So it is what it is. I enjoyed it. I thought it was necessary.
Yeah, great. I mean, it's fucked up, but to draw, like he says, you can double your strength by gaining, the people's sympathies and casting Rhaenyra as the villain or the cruel, the kinslayer, as they were screaming. So yeah, I mean, I think it was definitely the right move by Otto to do this. One other part to this I wanted to ask you guys is, what did you think of the dust that Helena was seeing? And I think this is sort of, I'm asking, but it's sort of connected to what you were saying, Benny, where it's like, it feels like there was some stuff left on the table. Like I thought it could have been crazier, or she would start talking crazy about whatever her next prophecy was. But I feel like there's more to this dust that they're highlighting that she was looking at than just dust.
Hmm.
Any ideas? Any thoughts?
I really didn't think too much about it, honestly.
Really?
Like I just kind of saw it as the whatever the debris is of all like that grain or whatever they were throwing at it. But I'm definitely interested in some crazy theories. So I'm interested to what you have to say about it.
I mean, I don't really know. They highlighted it for Helena and for Rhaenyra. They're both like looking at the
Mm,
dust. So like, could it have just been like, I don't know. We're
that's
both on this world. We're both in this world. We both share the same air, blah blah blah. Or is it like, and everything with Helena is like maybe something. So maybe it's like ash because of Dragonfire or like something. I don't know. I just, they highlighted it. I figured it might be something. I don't
I
really
didn't
have anything concrete.
I didn't notice it with Rhaenyra, so that's probably why I didn't put too much stock into it.
Yeah, I don't know. Or it was like just them both having anxiety and like looking at the dust. I know when I get anxious, I look at dust and I need to clean it. That's how I cure my anxiety.
Blast some Daniel Tiger and clean up.
Ugh, you don't even want to know. Anything else about the funeral procession at all?
I think it was
Yeah,
so creepy.
let's yeah. So I was just like, let's stop. I don't need to see the baby
Oh,
with his staples in his throat. Let's go. This isn't the
I was
lady
just
with the
gonna
green
say that.
ribbon.
I
did you
was
guys
just
think the body was gonna fall off the cart?
yes,
Yeah.
1,000%. And the head was gonna come off or something.
Yeah. How can like several strong dudes not get a cart out of a pothole? It wasn't even a big pothole.
I know. There was I thought they like that's why I thought something else was gonna happen because they were like really leaning into them
Right.
struggling with it.
Nah, guess not. Um, all right. So next, I want to talk about Rhaenyra and Daemon. So, during the small council meeting, Rhaenyra basically susses out that Daemon did something because he's just sitting there like smirking. Um, and he his whole defense is it was a mistake.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think about this? Like, and where's this headed? I guess.
Start us off, Ryan, then Robbie go.
Um, all right. I mean, I think everything that was said needed to be said and is accurate. Like they both have these positions. Damon probably is a little pissed off that he wasn't named the heir, and Rhaenyra is saying my father didn't trust you, and like that's accurate as well. But what I'm most in, and it's, we've all been in fights with significant others, and sometimes you say the most hurtful thing on purpose just to win the argument, maybe. Um, but I think what's most interesting from the scene is like what's gonna happen now, because he goes and fucks off on Syrax to maybe Harrenhal, but I don't think that's where he's going. I think he's going to do some more crazy shit. Robbie, what'd
I'm
you
all in for Damon's. Hey man, I'm all in for Damon's bad boy era. I mean, forget about it. I'm all about it. I mean, like
give him a
talk
toothpick?
about. Oh, give me a toothpick. Give me a couple of Heyos. I don't care. Give me more. Give me more hoodies. I mean, I hope we get a shot of his walk-in closet and it's just fucking 25 hoodies, all black, one for each day of the month. But like you said, I mean, you can't be trusted. So of course, her dad wasn't going to trust him, or it was his brother, whatever, wasn't going to trust him. And we know that by now. But I feel like that was coming. I feel like the fight was coming, but now I'm more intrigued to see what happens next, because I don't know what's going to happen next. I don't know if she's going to have a change of heart and get back to him. I don't know if she's never going to talk to him again. I doubt that. I doubt they're not going to be in a scene together for the rest of the show. That's not going to happen. But I am super intrigued to see where this is going, and I'm happy it happened. I don't like when, you know, they either gloss over it or it's like, yeah, nothing. We're not going to, dive too deep into this, and it all is forgiven. I'm glad she did what she did. I understand why they both said what they said. It's a tough situation, like you said, and any argument that one person's trying to get that last dig in, then I get it. But I'm happy that it ended this way. We get Rhaenyra sticking up for herself. We get the bad boy himself riding off on his dragon, sulking. Who knows where he's going? So I'm excited to see what happens with that relationship, and if Daemon just goes ballistic. But we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know where he's going. I kind of agree with you guys. I think it's not to Harrenhal, but my favorite part of the argument, I guess, is the beginning when she's basically when Rainier is accusing Daemon of like, what did you say? I know you said something, and Daemon's got the classic, I'm not giving you anything because you may know something that is going to catch me in a lie, and I'm just going to sit here and say nothing but like kind of answer the questions. But the two of them, their chemistry again is incredible. The fight was great. I'm here for anything that has to do with referencing Viserys. It made me think back to all the scenes between Viserys and Daemon in the first episode, and just how great some of those were. So I mean, those three last season, Rhaenyra, Viserys, and Daemon were just fantastic. But yeah, I don't
Viserys.
know. What would I say? Viserys?
Viserys.
I think I did the same thing last year too.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Sorry.
Ew.
But yeah, no, I want to see these two together again. Whether it's fighting or in love.
Making
But
love.
let's making love or both, like Crispy Cole and Allison at the end of the episode. But definitely interested to see where Daemon is going in his bad boy era, as Robbie put it.
Would have
Viserys.
been a six-man on the Pistons.
One thing to think about, what both of you said, they'll be, I want to see them back together. With Thrones or House of the Dragon, someone might die. So they might not be in the same room ever again.
Yeah.
Who knows? And
It's
if
very possible.
Damon's going to like go start some stuff, I have no idea. It's so intriguing. Like maybe he is just going to Harrenhal. It's going to be him sitting around drinking and hanging out. Like it
Yeah.
won't, but who knows?
We'll see. It
So
depends
excited.
on whether or not he's got the hoodie on. That's all we could
The
say.
murder cloak. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like an over the top when the hat goes back around. That's when he's turned on. The murder cloak is when Bad Boy comes out.
Yeah, maybe he just
BBD.
goes flying around and just gets people together, and they name it just Murder Inc. Shout out Ja Rule. And they just go around killing people.
It's murder. All right, so next question of the 7 questions, or next topic, is so during the small council meeting, Crispy Cole, as we like to call him, gets called out. What were you doing? I was abed. That was great by Aegon. Abed? Oh, one other quick thing that Aegon said that I loved, that bitch queen of the bastards. I love that. That was good. But basically Cole clearly feels guilty. He sees the bed being taken apart. He knows he fucked up, and he was just, too busy with Alicent to be doing his job. So what does he do? Does he admit fault? No. Does he take, responsibility? No. Project. So he projects all that shit onto Sir Eric. Says, "What were you doing?" He's like, "I was with the king." And Criston Cole's like, well, your shit's dirty, so go kill Rhaenyra. I mean, what'd you guys think of this whole, whole just sucking, and then just being such a D? The acting is so good. I hate him so much.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Start us off, Rob.
I hate him so much.
So much.
It's not even it's only 2 seasons in, and he's on my Mount Rushmore of Game of Thrones hatred, and it is Joffrey and now Criston Cole. I mean, Joffrey, forget it, because it's just amazing performance by that actor. I just hate Criston Cole. Everything about what a fall from grace. If you heard it here first, I'm giving $20,000 to anybody that finds Criston Cole and just murders him. Not the guy that plays him, Criston Cole himself. We can go back. Yeah. So please, we got a bounty on his head. But it's just a typical. It's like some schmo in corporate America that can't take responsibility and blame for their actions, so they blame somebody else or belittle somebody else because they're incompetence. I hated it. I knew Eric was done for as soon as he sent them off, and I felt bad because I do enjoy his character, so that kind of stunk. Spoiler alert, sorry, but I just, what a sleaze and what a scum. Like, dude, we all like to have a nice little bone sesh. Like, maybe take a night off. Enough is enough. Like, he caused all this, and now, like you said, Ryan, he's projecting all of that onto other people and causing more harm for other people. And it's just, I cannot wait to see the bullshit that ensues with him as the hand, because I know it's not going to be a good thing.
Oh
But
my God. I can't
this,
wait to get to that.
yeah, this scene annoyed me because I knew where it was going. People were going to get killed, and he took no responsibility for his actions. And it's just him moving the goalpost. He's a loser. I can't stand him. And when that day comes, it'll be the greatest episode I've ever watched in my life.
Ryan, what'd you think of it?
I mean, same. I kind of said it when I posed this question, but yeah, he stinks. I'm with Robbie. I cannot wait until his comeuppance. I stupid. And so Eric was, yeah, I liked him too. Like, when it first started, I was hoping Eric would just be like, you know what, fuck you, and just like went after him. Or when he got to Dragonstone, was just like, yo, Cole sent me to kill. Fuck them. I'm with you guys now.
Yeah, I'm
With
done
my
with him.
bro again. That's what he should have done. What an idiot.
Yeah. I mean, this is projection 101, and it was just, it's not even, we've seen how despicable and how much of a like cock this guy is, and it just keeps getting worse. And every episode, you guys mentioned like one of the most hated characters at this point in Game of Thrones history, and he like really hasn't done anything. Like,
No,
what has he really done? I mean, there's murders
he's a
galore.
smug piece of crap.
Yeah. And he's just a crybaby about getting broken up with. He's ready to point the finger at anybody but himself when he knows he did something wrong. And somehow he just keeps failing up. I can't believe it.
17 years ago, he got dumped,
Dude.
and he's still upset. Fucking get over it.
I really wish Sir Eric just, when he was done with the conversation, just like did that thing when like you're taller than somebody, like they do on like a soccer field or something like that, or a baseball, and they just like look over him and they can't see him. You know what I'm saying? Like when
Hit him with a
somebody's
too
like some tall
small.
guys, yeah, and then just went off and then joined Rhaenyra. But I knew it. I knew it was Curtains for him, and it stinks because I liked him.
Yeah.
Just get over it, dude. Like, holy crap. You really think that she was gonna leave her birthright to go
heir to the
make lemons with you? Yeah.
Gonna go
be poor
do
somewhere?
a lemon party with you.
Yeah, right. To be poor and not have cable or anything like that, you bozo, get out of here. It's disgusting.
You think she's gonna leave cable and a in-ground pool for your poor ass? Come on.
Exactly. Live in a greenhouse making fucking tomatoes. Get out of here. Who wants that? Inflammation with the tomatoes.
Well, one of you brought it up, so I'm gonna switch my list of topics here. I do want to keep talking about Cole, because Aegon and Criston Cole hang all the rat catchers and show them off for the entire city, all the small folk to see. Otto is fucking pissed because he's right. We got all this good favor by, parading a dead body through the streets. It's true. He did, gets a lot of sympathy. But then now you're almost like turning the small folk a little bit against you here by doing this. So Otto goes off on them, and then Aegon makes Criston Cole the hand. So where are we going with this? I think, Robbie, I think you said it, like, I can't wait to see this asshole fail.
Yeah.
Oh, please. Can't.
I think this is, out of, we've mentioned him a few times, Rhys Ifans, out of all of the scenes he's done in the show, and he's been very good in all of them, this was by far, he like knocked it out of the park, out of the county into the next state. It was incredible how good he was. Just even with him just throwing the pin at the end. Oh, so good. I love that you said, Ryan, he pulled out the thesaurus and just went ape on Aegon. I can't wait to see what his next move is. We finally got, I don't know if you had a question about this later, but the third child is now fully in play. He's in Old Town, apparently.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of the stuff that I got out of this episode that I thought made it so good. I'll let you guys handle the Criston Cole as hand stuff because we know it's going to be a disaster in the making, but I just really wanted to give Otto his flowers in the scene because it was probably my favorite. And this is going up against the brother versus brother. It was probably my favorite scene just because how amazing he was.
Agree.
Yeah, I totally agree. It was my favorite scene. Sorry, Ryan, my favorite scene in the entire episode. Far and away, my favorite Otto performance of this entire series. It was absolutely amazing. In a room full of great actors in that scene, he was far and away the best. I loved everything about his character. I thought it was great. Like you said, the thesaurus, the little digs. When he finds out that Criston Cole's going to be the hand, and he's like, I can't wait to, basically, I'm paraphrasing, I can't wait to see what this is going to be like. These two fucking idiots. But yeah, it's almost like when like Criston Cole, like, is a character that's like picking on somebody, and he's like getting yelled at, and the guy behind him's like, yeah, 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 and he's like doing that shit, and then all of a sudden, like, they pick, and they're like, all right, well, you do it, and he's like, what? He's like, I don't want. It's like you can see in his face, he's like, I don't want this fucking job, but
yeah,
that's what you get for being a dick, and now let's see you do the job. And obviously, like I said, I don't think it's going to be good. I don't think he's going to do a good job. I don't think he's equipped for any of that. Yeah, he's just a little insecure boy who's still butthurt about a relationship that happened 17 years ago. And I think we all know it's not going to end good, but I'm so here for the hilarity that's about to happen.
well, that's like uh, obviously the Greens have Vagar, they have Aemond, but Otto was almost like their ace in the hole. Like he knew what to do. Like I was mentioning early in the story, like this stupid little move out of anger, temper tantrum, whatever, swung the balance of power way more than I think a lot of people expect.
Yeah. But the Blacks also possibly lost Daemon, who's like their best. He's their Aemond equivalent.
He is, but also he causes so much chaos. Is this like addition by subtraction?
Right. Yeah. No, you're
I
right.
don't know.
I mean,
You're right, because who's gonna like kind of bring Eamon back down to earth? Like even in episode 1 when he's just giving goats and everything, every livestock to everybody, and Otto was like, you can't really be doing stuff like that during the whatever they was talking to the village folk. Who's gonna do that now? You think Criston Cole's gonna stop him from these crazy shit? No, of course not. So
he's
like you said, but that's why I agree
with.
with. Yeah, that's why I kind of agree. Like this is gonna have some ramifications bigger than anybody kind of expects.
I feel like it also could work though in the short term because they're just gonna be ruthless and like, yeah, like maybe in 5-10 years they're indebted to the Iron Bank and like all this stuff, like they're the small folk are suffering or whatever, but they could be still living high on the hog because they're just any issues, any rebellions, they're just crushing. But it also could blow up in their face very quickly. I guess we'll just see what happens. I don't know. I hope because he doesn't know anything about like economics, trade, like alliances, like anything except fucking and stabbing. That's the only thing he knows how to do. And
He's got a PhD in putting the P on a pedestal.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, and he knows how to be butthurt like a little bee. Stupid
sucker.
Yeah. So I'm that was a great scene, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what happens with this idiot as the hand. So going back to our topics, and we kind of mentioned it quickly. There was a number of scenes with small folk, and allusions to them, and the scene with Alan and Adam, and like a couple table setting things. Now, we don't need to necessarily like go super into this, but the one thing I want to bring up is um I think we can all agree that they're setting the stage for something with Alan and Adam. But I also think they're setting the stage for something with like the small folk, with the citizens of the realm, to maybe, I don't know, at the extreme rebellion or some kind of skirmish or something, because it's like they don't have money. They were talking about this, they don't have food. They hung the rat catchers, like blah, blah, blah. So I feel like there's going to be something there. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Definitely, because you get that scene with the guy who was promised
Yep.
whatever he's money or something.
He was, yeah, blacksmith.
Yeah, and he's clearly not getting it because it's easy to make that promise, but if you don't follow up on it. So I agree, between the rat catcher and that, they're definitely laying the groundwork to maybe not an open mutiny or anything like that, but anytime they get a chance to help out Rhaenyra, they're going to take it.
Yeah. Mutiny from within, something.
Well, maybe I'm confused at this, so if you can indulge me again as to Adam and Alan, because sometimes I just zone out
Oh, that's okay.
when I'm not interested in character.
So remember the guy that Corliss last week was like
Yeah.
saying, "Hey, you saved my life." That's Alan. His brother is Adam, who we met this week. And they were talking about this too. Was it on the show that we mentioned something about Alan, or was it after? Because I don't want to potentially spoil stuff for people.
We won't spoil it. We talked about it on the show, though. So if you missed last week, I think we waited maybe towards the end to talk about it. So, but yeah, we did talk about it, but they haven't mentioned it in the show yet at all.
Okay. All right. So we'll leave it there. But yeah, there's something up.
We mentioned, I meant to say we mentioned it on our show, not the actual show.
Right. Yeah. Hey, we both have shows, HBO and us. How about
High
that?
ratings, high ratings.
Huge, huge ratings.
All right. Number 6 on the list for me of the 7 questions for the 7 kingdoms is, hey brother. So Eric and Arik fight. Did you guys have trouble following who is who? A. And B, I don't know, thoughts.
I 100% had trouble following, and I actually sent me a video earlier today. That was the whole point of it. Like anytime someone got like a cut or something that would kind of let you know who was who, the other one got the same cut. And then once they both go to the ground, that's it. Nobody knows, who's who anymore. And that's what kept me on the edge of my seat. It was like, I thought like they were gonna pull the move or like it's me. Come here, I'll help you. And it was gonna be the other one. But what a cool I mean, just the person that you want to win actually wins, and then you get that falling on the sword moment, and it was just so like it's such a Game of Thrones ending to that whole scene, but like you understand why. Like the two of them, I don't think ever wanted to fight each other, and they both kind of displayed that. But you know, Crispy put Eric in that position to
Please.
where he had to do that. And he, made the first move, and Eric had to defend Rhaenyra and himself. And what an ending. I mean, just what a cool fight, and what an ending. And I love the way that the whole thing was shot.
Robbie, what'd you think?
Yeah. No, I agree. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was a great fight scene. I love that I couldn't tell who was winning. I once I saw, who was it? Arik, who got sliced in the, above the knee. I think I was like, all right, now I know who's who. And then I was like, who the fuck is choking out who? I'm like, who's about to get choked out right? I had no idea. And then like Benny said, I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna pull the old switcheroo. That's Eric about to you know, stab Rhaenyra, but then Arik falls on his sword, and you just feel bad because two good characters in the show are gone. Of course, this is Game of Thrones, so silly for me for thinking that one of them would have survived or both of them would have survived. I obviously knew that one wasn't going to survive, but great scene. I love being the master of disguise over here and not really knowing who was who. And I thought it was shot brilliantly. Even the anxiety, the anxiety I had of Eric just walking through, was it Dragonstone? I was, I thought it was great. I love the way it was shot. Um, Shout out to a man that came in his nightgown, coming out, helping out. Shout out to him, whoever that guy was. Mr. Nighty, I'm going to call him.
Yeah. He had the butt flap on the back of his pajamas.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. I did
I
find it
love
funny.
that.
Like, sorry, real quick. I did find it funny. Like, he's in there, he's in there, he's in there. He gets in there, and then all of a sudden, 2 seconds later, Eric's like, brother. It's like, oh, okay. Like, give me some more tense. Build it up a little bit, but great
Yeah,
scene.
like you played it off so well of him like avoiding him, but then all of a sudden he knows he's in there. I did like the detail of like the back door, locking the back door, because that's something that they didn't really need to do, and they did it, and it was just a cool little detail thrown in there. Like maybe they saw that the door was on the set and like, oh, we kind of have to address this, but not giving her a way out. But yeah, cool. Again, this is just the thing that they pay attention to. Unless it's a Starbucks cup, they really got the attention to detail locked down.
Well, I think too, one quick point. I'm pretty sure he jumped in because Massaria went and told people.
Right. You're right
Yeah.
about that.
Which kind of annoyed me. I get it, but it's like, did you really
Yeah.
know that was him?
Right.
It's like
Like,
a hike.
he
I
has a twin. I don't know.
I think they're setting her up to be like her,
Yeah. She's
like Varys.
that's how she this is how she like gets in to the queen's good graces.
Yep.
Yeah, I understood it, but still, stop.
Um Yeah, no, it's a good fight. Loved it. I didn't know who was who. Um, second time I watched it, I kind of was able to follow, and then I lost it, but then I got it back. I was like, all right, that's Eric. All right, good. But he didn't have to. I mean, I get it, but you didn't have to kill yourself.
Killed your own twin, bro.
I guess I know, but I still think the whole thing was stupid. Like, why would you do that? Just
Kill
go there and
yourself?
be like, yo, they sent me to kill you, Rhaenyra. Like, I don't want to. I'm gonna leave, or I'm gonna like join you guys or something. I don't know.
Wait, so who killed themselves at the end? The good brother or the asshole
Eric
brother?
won and killed himself.
Okay, so the good brother won.
Yes. Well,
Okay,
good. The Rhaenyra's sworn
right.
sword. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eric with an E. I'm pretty sure that's what I followed, and I did look it up just to confirm, and it looks like the internet is saying Eric. Who knows? It
So
might have.
the way I remember their names is Eric is an asshole because he's with the High Towers, and I'm Team Black.
Right. And Eric
Eric.
is gonna get the company.
Yeah.
You giving the company to Eric? All right. Last topic, just the the effing high towers. I mean, we mentioned kind of all these things, but I'm very curious to see what Daemon is gonna do, whatever. I know book readers were just nonstop be like, where's Daemon? Like, all right, chill out. Like, he's coming.
Shut up. Go
Yeah.
outside.
Go outside.
Go outside. Take a jog around the block.
Something. Do something. Get you the endorphins in it,
Something.
you
Anything.
know?
Yeah, get some sunlight.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Um, none of them have any kind of I don't know how to say this, like emotion towards one another. Uh Aegon just walks by Helena, doesn't give a shit. Allison,
That was so hurtful.
right? That was so mean. Like Helena's such a
That was such a mean
nice
thing.
girl.
Yeah, she's a little fucking cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but come on, give her something. She just
Yeah.
watched her son get his head beheaded. Like, come on, stop it,
Yeah. And then she had to
you dick.
parade it around the streets.
And I get stuck in a pothole.
Yeah. That was the worst part. The pothole.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Westeros's Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah, right. Um Allison walks in on Aegon. I'll just back out, like not getting
Hopefully you
involved
didn't
in
see
this.
me.
Yeah. And then of course Allison just the end, slapping Criston Cole, and then just of course they go get back into it. Still disgusting.
Like, he was one of it's annoys me. That's why I hate them. Like, he was one of the reasons why her grandson was killed. I thought it was ridiculous that she couldn't even comfort her son. That pissed me off. There's just so many things that being beautiful can only take you so far, in my eyes. It goes far,
I
but
think you're very close
nah,
to the end.
yeah, very close. But we're done here. This officially sealed the deal for me, as I'm now on Team Black.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean,
Welcome.
she's so bad that Aemond is paying a prostitute to pretend to be his mom.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
I think this is again another one of those Westeros lessons where, yeah, you do have to be cutthroat and always scheming and always trying to figure out what the next move is, but they're so far down that path where there's no emotion. It's just what benefits us in this situation. I don't care about your emotions. Yeah, your child just died, but we have to find a way to capitalize it. Yeah, you're doing some stuff that we shouldn't know about it, but I don't even want to hear about it. And Allison has that lesson to where now she sees her son in his most vulnerable moment, and she can't even. She'd rather just back out of the room than say anything to him.
And go have sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They stink, but
Think.
I feel like we said last week, I forgot to say that, but I feel like they're setting us up for the old Swerbrewski. But who knows?
I think so too. I feel like there's gonna be a time soon that we're gonna be like, wow, Team Green, not so bad.
Yeah.
Or
I'm
something.
back, baby.
Yeah. I'm back on Allison. Um yeah, I mean, again, there was, some more things that happened in this episode. Was there anything specific that you guys wanted to bring up before we do our Iron Thrones?
I'm really excited to see where this sea snake stuff is going. I
You just
love,
read my mind.
yeah, I love that couple. I love Rhaenys. That's her
Oh,
name, right?
yeah, Rhaenys. Yeah, love her.
I love the sea snake. I mean, we lauded him all last season, and potentially with what's going on with the man who saved him. So something's bubbling there, and I can't wait to figure out what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if Benny's read, Inception style in my skull, but mine was going to be more Steve Toussaint all the time, all day, every day. I need more sea snake. So, like I said, I can't wait to see his character more often in these next episodes, and I can't wait to see where his character goes and what he does. So I'm excited for that. I need more Toussaint, please. Toussaint, what a croissant.
Oh, a little butter.
A little
Oh,
butter, a little warm, a little
done it.
toasted. Just please.
I want a croissant so bad right now.
Me too. Maybe a chocolate one.
Oh, nice chocolate croissant. Nice. Um, all right.
What about you? What are you looking forward for? Or anything you had to say?
No, I mean, same as you guys. Like, agree. I'm definitely in. I probably should have put Corliss, but I had to cut it off at 7. I made rules for myself. Um, I'm very curious to see where some of this stuff is going. And like I said, it was at first watch, I was kind of like, not all the way, man, but just kind of like, wasn't as good as last week. But now it's second watch, I was like, all right, still in. I'm all the way in the pool. All right, Iron Throne. Does anyone want to start with their Iron Throne for the week?
I believe I went first last week, so I will defer to the end.
Robbie, would you like to go first?
Yeah, I can go.
Yeah, go ahead.
My Iron Throne was going to be a joke. It was going to be anybody that is going to will kill Criston Cole, but I'm gonna have to go with Otto as my Iron Throne for this week. He orchestrated that, you know, propaganda-esque funeral for all the right reasons, even though we may not think it's the right reason or it was in bad taste, but we understand why he did it. I enjoyed that. To his fantastic acting, to just dressing down both Aegon and Criston Cole. Fantastic, phenomenal. He knows how to play the game. And I think, yeah, he lost the job, but it's only going to benefit him in the end, whether he comes back or whether he does some things on his own to benefit himself. We'll see. But I think everything's looking up Otto uh, for the foreseeable future. Um, so I'm excited to see that. Just phenomenal masterclass in acting this week by him. It was amazing. Some of the best work I've seen in a bit. And yeah, so I'll go with Otto. And shout out to my man Lars. We didn't talk about him this week, but I'm still here for you, baby. So we're here.
Yeah, we didn't really mention him much this week, but yeah, he does make an appearance. Benny, go ahead.
Um, I was gonna wait till the end, but I will pick. I'm gonna go with Rhaenyra this week. I'm glad we see you could have went. I'm glad we got more than one line out of her this week. I mean, even though she killed it with just the one line, or I should say they killed it with one line. I was very much misgendering last week, and I apologize for that. Um, But Rhaenyra was fantastic this episode. You know, we all mentioned the scene with Daemon and Rhaenyra. One of the, you know, it's hard to say this was a setup episode. We got like some really great scenes this week, and that, you know, to put that at number 3 behind um the auto scene, the brothers fighting, does it disservice. But she was great. The character Rhaenyra was great in this episode. I liked how she is really coming into her own as far as planning and being ruthless to not only Daemon but to Missaria. And I think that that's going to benefit her. The way she was firm with Missaria, but also showed mercy at the same time, I think is going to end up benefiting her and getting people on her side besides Daemon. So I think she's, with Otto being out of the picture and her kind of coming into her own as queen, I think her stock is on the rise.
Fair. Sorry, I was making noise next door. I mean, my Iron Throne this week.
Nice.
I gotta print the picture every week, but then I won't know who to put on there if I go last.
Just go with 3.
Yeah, I'll just print the picture of everybody. I actually, I was gonna pick Rhaenyra, and this might be a better pick, even though I hate his absolute guts. But Criston Cole sits on the Iron Throne this week because he literally will be sitting on the Iron Throne when Aegon is off being a fuckboy somewhere.
Yeah, wild.
So, I mean, has anyone come this far by doing so little? I don't think so.
No.
He gets he gets the hand of the king because of a prank. And I love that Otto calls it a prank. This prank.
Yeah. Ugh.
Ridiculous.
I was thinking about picking him too, but it's just gonna go so far downhill for him so fast that I couldn't do it.
He slept with 2 queens and his hand of the king.
I mean, putting up Jordan numbers out there.
Ridiculous. All right. Anything else about this week or looking ahead to next week before we wrap up?
Did any of you watch the previews for next week?
No, I turned it off. I said absolutely not.
Yeah, I did
turned it off
not.
too. Nice. All right, cool.
Yeah.
I was gonna say if you had any feelings about the new one, but I like that. I like that we all are going into it fresh.
Yeah. But don't worry, Robbie. I will spoil it for you before the episode comes out.
9:59. You're gonna get a text next Sunday night.
Oh my God! Please forget about it. I mean, geez, just because you make fun of fucking Sam Rockwell being a character actor, this is what I get.
This is my
Goodness
long
gracious.
play to just continually try to get you back for hurting my feelings.
Oh my God! Please, I'm not going to tell you the next show I watch.
So
Seinfeld goes to jail in the end.
Who does?
Seinfeld.
No way.
The last episode, they throw him in jail.
I'm not going to watch
Sorry.
that now.
Well, thank you for listening. Get involved with us. Like I said in the beginning, email us, follow us on Instagram, follow us on YouTube, rate, review, all that fun stuff. We appreciate the support. I don't know. We'll see you next week. Hope maybe we'll have a different format. I don't know. Robbie, tell him good night.
Good night, Sir Otto. We'll miss your bubbling personality in the small council meetings.
Good night, Eric and Eric. We'll miss you. At least one of you.
Or both.
Well, both. Good night, Criston. I bet sex with Allison this week was especially good. Just got a huge promotion, and she was slapping him. I mean,
jeez.
What's better than that?
What a life. This guy has the balls to be upset.
I can feel it.
Exactly. What was me?
Yeah.
When I hear a sound, I rap at the door, my young son Gabriel walks in. My wife says, no, Gabriel, leave. I said, no, let the boy watch. Let the boy watch. He needs to learn the way I learned from my father, the way he learned.